Okay. And the magic machine tells me that I am the elephant in the room. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? What's going on? The elephant in the room, stalwart. Gold medal onto thee for live chat participation. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being there, being you. Doodly do. Already, I bargained for a full 30 minutes for this live stream, but unfortunately, I'm 7 minutes late, so we're going to be a little bit truncated. Prag Magic here is giving us a good old shalom. Thank you, thank you. Um, Member of the tribe, member of the tribe. Congrats on the sobriety. What's so funny is that I actually have a video. The video that I made regarding the wait for start. Regarding the use of grab these bad boys, bad girls. Leave you behind. Regarding the using of Funko Mini Pop, not the Funko keychains as alternative miniatures. I recently set to private because I had mentioned the beginning of the sobriety journey there, and had I waffled on whether it was too personal, so I set it to private. Then realized I was going to be talking about the sobriety journey here, so that was set to private for a short period of time. Then obviously I'm going to set it back to public for probably so yada, and then I bring these out here, which is funny because we're going to be talking about a system that is more miniatures oriented than previous systems that I've looked at, which is, and it's funny because I kind of have a reputation for being kind of a Pathfinder hater, but the system that I'm going to be talking about is Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, and we'll get there. I have a couple of things that I have kind of, this is going to be a general check-in, kind of my TTRP journey. Update, sobriety, savage, Pathfinder, and people I dig. Let me start with the people I dig. My we also have Tim Frey with us. Hello. Getting that bronze for live chat participation. Prag Magic grabbing that silver. We have Jonaside here with an honorable mention. We have Mark Matters with us on X, grabbing a gold medal for participation on X. Yo onto you. Gold medal for you. Supporting the lonely Jew. Here's so funny. I've got a guy called the Mediator 23 who always gives me the most consistent. I don't block him. Let me tell you something, folks. I must have the thickest skin in the world. This guy, it's most likely an individual that used to be called Draco Slayer. Whatever. We don't know who who are these trolls. We don't know who they actually are. I don't care. I'm not in fear of my life or fear of my children's life. The guy's more annoying than anything else. And the primary reason that I don't block the individual is to be totally honest. We have Pimp Biscuit with us as well. The person is a rabid racist. They respond to me every post. I gotta tell you something, folks. Because X is dying such the painful heat death, or actually cold death in the universe that it is, thanks to the genius management of Elon Musk. Nothing says I'm a successful business person like F the advertisers on a app that is driven by advertiser support. Let me do this here. But it's so funny because the Mediator 23 celebrated the fact that Elon Musk was taking over. It said, "Ha ha ha! Now that Elon Musk is in control, I'm gonna ruin your life." CW Trader literally said that to me because this guy's been following me, assuming that they're a guy, since ironically, since Christ was a child. This is an expression I use all the time, and all they do is send me, my head on a dead body. It's all Jew. You're gonna burn. You're gonna go in the ovens. You evil Jew. Whatever. Anyway, the last thing that they sent to me was a direct threat against the life of my ex-wife and my children. What we're gonna do to you. What we're going to do to your ex-wife and your children, what your people are doing to the people in Gaza, and that's going to be an eye for an eye. That's what they said to me. Okay. And I reported the tweet, the X or whatever, because, they threatened the life of my children. And meanwhile, I am not a supporter of the apartheid state in Israel, and I've never been a supporter of the apartheid state in Israel. It's old school South Africa, and I'm not a Zionist. It is what it is, and many Jews share my opinion about that. It's just is what it is, and I'm certainly not a supporter of what they're doing in response to the aggression of Hamas in Gaza. It just is what it is. But this individual is just a mentally disturbed individual. It just is what it is. So anyway, so I report the tweet to X, and guess what? X found out, X in their original determination was it was not problematic. This is not an issue. The genius, the wisdom. Don't worry, I screen capped it for everyone so we can have a laugh talking about that at some other point. Then so they said, but if you feel that, that we've made a mistake, feel free to tell us why. And I said, well, I'm assuming that this was an AI call, because if you read what I've reported to you, it's a direct threat against children. So if you don't think that that's problematic, I don't know what is, but, hey, you're make the call that you want to. I'll be discussing it on YouTube. So whatever you guys want to do. And I don't block this individual, because I'll be completely honest with you guys who follow me on X still. As far as retweets, comments, and posts on my things that I post, the rabid anti-Semite that is constantly threatening my life in everything that I post on X, they're the most consistent engagement that I get on the X app. So everyone else who follows me on X but does nothing, with all due respect, right? I block the guy, but then there would go all my engagement on X, thanks to you guys and gals. Just saying. And I kid because I love it. It is what it is. It is what it is. And and it makes me feel, it feels fine by me, because I'm like, now I get to tell you, look at the things I have to deal with on X. Look what they say is okay on X. This guy, Mediator 23. And they, you know what I mean? And and believe you me, I'm not the only one. Apparently, if you are Jewish and in any way, shape, or form connected to UAP or UFO phenomena, this is the Mediator 23. And this is like the 99th, persona that they've had on X. Like, all they do, it's like Google, X, Facebook. They have a wonderful, wonderful solution to internet harassment and stalking, which is just get rid of this account or whatever. And all the individual does is just create another SAC account and come back and keep on doing the same thing, usually along the lines of, ha ha ha, remember me? I was this person, 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 and I'm back. So it's just like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? It is what it is. And I'm sure their next response is going to be like, I am near you. I am going to get you. And I'm going to be like, what are you going to do? Anyway, people who I dig. The mistake that I made when I came back to, when I came and said, the conspiracy stuff is driving me nuts. I want to get away from a life of consternation, agony, and pain of dealing with people that cause me conflict and consternation. When you can't even trust your co-defendants, right? From being crazy nuts. I came to my love, my rekindled love of TTRPGs. Brought me back and to start this new channel, Blueberry Wolf Bridge, No Intro RPG. And quickly I found a way, because of the OGL crisis, the non-OGL crisis, that didn't exactly exist. I found a way to make that into an issue, and then, start a fight with, everybody who doesn't even know I exist here, right? Let me try and reverse that trend, and instead use my powers for good instead of evil. And instead of talking about people that I don't like and that I think are jabronis and are spreading disinformation about TTRPGs, let me talk to you about someone that I think is super cool and awesome. There's a channel called The Random Encounter Show with a guy called Boom Deathstalker 5. Let me share a screen for a second, okay? This is the first individual whom I've become Look at this guy. Look, this says winner, right? This is the first. But look, actually, if you look at him and me, it's like if I had to run away and disguise myself and told you like this is me, I had to run away and disguise myself. So I shaved my head to pretend that I was bald, and I trimmed the beard and put on a pair of glasses. Hold on, wait. Check it out. Look at the arms of the screen, right? It's you know what I mean? Yo, we're kind of there, dude. But he's from the South, the deep South, as near as I can tell. And what's so funny is when I first came to the TTRPG space and started this channel, he was one of the first YouTubers that I found. Okay, and I fell in love with his content almost immediately. Okay. And what was so funny is that I had no real conception of the TTRPG space on YouTube, how small it was, how it was operated, what was going on. So I immediately started making references to this guy. Like everybody on TTRPG YouTube would like know this guy, knew who he was or whatever. So, and for whatever reason, I'm kind of like, this would be kind of like bigotry towards people from the South. Mitch Hedberg is not from wherever geographical region that this individual is from. Okay. I know that another YouTuber that I'm going to mention later on, who's giving this guy a shout out, called Adventures with Dice, okay, is from Georgia. I forget where Deathstalker 5 is from. Okay. But he's from some other place that's the South, right? Mitch Hedberg, I think it might be from like the Midwest, right? You know, but because I'm from New Jersey, right? Everyone who talks like y'all or different than people from, if you're not from Boston or from New Jersey or New York, right? If you don't talk like you're from Yonkers or Park the Car and Harvard Yard, then you're from the South, right? So I immediately started making cracks about this guy, like, oh, cool. I no longer have to get rid of my Mitch Hedberg impersonation because this guy has got a really fantastic way of, he's got these very cool, and you'll probably see that if you look at some of my content, I like Picasso, great artist, you know, borrow, like good artists borrow, great artists steal. This guy has got he's got a fantastic kind of, I find it very endearing and charming the way he speaks and talks. If I hit
to the Random Encounter Show, Deathstalker 5. We're kicking off our brand new series of table talks. If you missed
the way, let me get him on a good spot.
The update, basically what we're
get him on a good pause, so like, you know, more frame him nicely. I became a member of his channel recently. He's going full time on YouTube. God bless him. And I want to support him 100%. So like talk about like, you know, like that, you know, people like that I don't like. So I'll talk about this guy that I do like. So he's got these like phrases like, I don't know. And what's another one that's a big one that he hits all the time? Yeah. And people are like, what? He says like expressions from the South, like y'all. No, but the way he does it and the way he does it consistently, they're like, they become like catchphrases. And they're very hooky. For me, at least, they're very like, they draw you in. And he's got a very like down-homey approach. And he's very open about these things. Like, even if you look at this video, like this is the reason that I picked up this video to share was Sojourn On is with us as well. That's cool. E.T., Leave Me Alone, player skill and tabletop RPGs. In this video, he talks about having a kind of fucked up experience seeing the movie E.T. as a kid and it being kind of traumatic and traumatizing. Yo, when I was a kid, I had a traumatic experience seeing E.T. So I was like, yo, this is what it sounds like when doves cry. Like it was like Milhouse when he meets the other kid from Shelbyville who's like, yo, my name is Milhouse too. I was like, yo, because I had a traumatic experience when I saw E.T. Like it wasn't as traumatic as the experience I had when I saw Dark Crystal, where I had to leave the theater with my mom. But or the experience I had when I saw The Fly, but it was nearly that way. The only part of the reason that I saw E.T. until the end was because the trauma with E.T. doesn't happen until the end when he almost dies, because it was fucked up for me. Like, E.T. fucked my shit up. Like, E.T. my shit up, like real big time. I have a crazy experience. So anyway, but he's very humanizing, and he'll have these longer streams, these table talk streams that are very, very cool. His streams are informative, and also, like I said, he's very human. He doesn't drop like curses. I guess it was just his way. I surmise, and I believe that he said he's made a kind of just like random references to the fact that I think that he's one of these individuals who's saved by the Lord. You know what I mean? He's a Christian fellow, I believe. And in addition to that, though, he's also made references that make me believe that he might have some sort of background in comparative religion or comparative mythology or something. What's also crazy about the guy is that he's had several real big interviews with heavy hitters involved with the game Tunnels and Trolls. He's had the biggest guy with the game associated with the game Tunnels and Trolls is obviously Ken St. Andre. He's had interviews with the man Ken St. Andre himself. Okay. In addition to that, like the number 2 guy, I think it's fair to say, is this guy Steve Crompton. And he's had interviews with Ken St. Andre and Steve Crompton together, and he's had interviews with Steve Crompton alone. So this guy is kind of like a player, I think you can say fairly well in the, I don't know like what you call like the online Tunnels and Trolls community, if you'd say he's a player in the Tunnels and Trolls community online, or if he's just like made himself known like as an advocate to Tunnels and Trolls to the point where, look, I mean, he's supported Tunnels and Trolls, and he's obviously been able to get these interviews or whatever. So there's that too. So he's obviously highly motivated, and he's highly motivated in regards to solo RPG playing and solo RPG support. I'll tell you this, his sometimes he'll kind of like branch off or kind of wander off into what might be considered kind of like clean comedy, like kind of like stand-up comedy, kind of like, you know, kind of like try to be funny, and his comedy's whack. Like I'll tell you like straight up, like sometimes like you can tell that he's trying to be like, oh man, like my wife, and he'll be like, I don't get it, like, and he'll be like, oh man, like save that shit like for the shower. Like with the singer, it's like, no, you know what I mean, like you're not your forte. But other than that, the guy is like really, he's like me in the sense that sometimes like with these table talks, he'll go and like you could tell, like, and also it's like interesting, like he's very open. There was a period of time with these table talks that you could tell that he was very open about it. He was dealing with insomnia, so he was recording these things when he was dealing with the insomnia. And I didn't reach out to the guy, but I was like, yo, man, I think you're depressed. Like I think that's what's going on here. Like, I think you might be dealing with it, because he was like, I don't know. And it was like, but it was like wandering off. And like, it was like, but it was cool because like me, it's like he was letting us in. Like we were seeing like what was going on with him. He would be like starting with the solo RPG, but then he would kind of like go off and he would be telling you, you know, about kind of what was going on. And I love that. Like and I think that there needs to be more of that, like into the TTRPG space. Like it seems like with the TTRPG YouTube, you don't get a lot of that. You get people that are like, either they're all about grabbing those clicks with the whatever's going on with, you know, BS about WotC and making up nonsense like by the way, like, you know, like the Pinkertons. It's a name that's been sold to company to company to company. The Pinkertons of today are not the union busters of yesterday, and people that are acting like, yo, the Pinkertons are the people that you hire when you want to bust some heads. No, that's the mafia. You know what I mean? The Pinkertons are like Brinks Security. Like they're just another company. You know what I mean? And the guy with the Magic the Gathering cards, like he had cards that he wasn't supposed to have. And his wife was intimidated because they said they would sue him. Like, that's what they say to you because, then give them the cards. You know what I mean? Like, oh, and they shouldn't have shipped. Like, everyone was like, and everyone was saying that stuff not because they were so incensed and, oh, Watts, you're so terrible and so horrible. Then how about this? Have you heard about all sorts of people being sued for saying these crazy things about them during the OGL crisis? Oh, and by the way, how many lawsuits have what Wizards of the Coast filed in the last 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Is the number 0? Yeah. They're such horrible people. They're so litigious. It's nuts. I mean, it's just whatever. But here's one of the guys that he did not touch any of that crap. He didn't talk about the OGL crisis. He didn't go for any of those clickbaits. He just talked about TTRPGs, the TTRPGs he grew up with, TTRPGs for solo play, tips for solo play, and I've got insomnia and I don't know what's going on. And also vintage video games. Let me stop sharing and show you another one that you can another one of his like key videos that you can check out. He's got the holiday specials and his views are pretty good. Look at his views. His views are like, he's got views like his last video's got 359. He's got the true strengths of solo RPGs, unlock your game 876. Yo, the only thing that's really blowing up is solo RPGs. If you want to know the truth, a lot of people are really playing solo. Basket Case Birthday. He's into vintage movies, hobby gaming mindset, the Drifter. So he supports a lot of like indie games and stuff. He's got this Monsters comics turns RPGs with Steve Crompton. That's got 601 views. He did a deep delve on Tunnels and Trolls. If you want to learn about Tunnels and Trolls, he'll take you from start to finish. Let me see this. Oh man, where am I looking for? I wanted to see the one he did for the vintage video games because he did a new one on vintage video games. Oh yeah. Check this out. This was a cool one. Oh, I'm at the 5. Yo, check this out. I'm gonna have to do all my stuff. I didn't even get the Savage Pathfinder. Hold on, wait. Let me do this one. Okay, so what he's doing here is that what they're talking about when it says this Atari 2600 plus 2600 plus. Nah, we got the real deal. So here's what's going on with this. So he's talking about they came out with a new module that has all the Atari 2600 games. But what he had done was he had gotten.
Want to see? We'll dive.
He's
right
got
into
all.
them.
He had bought.
Anyways,
deal with someone
give me
online.
1 second. I'm going to.
When he got all
untangle a bunch of the wires.
he made a
that
purchase for all the vintage ones, right? Like all the real deal. He bought a whole bunch of real deal vintage.
Move these boxes over.
So he's got his old school Atari 2600.
Test this bad boy out.
He's got the old school CRT.
All right,
and so he's not testing them out by like having any sort of like sophisticated computer hookup or whatever.
About it, isn't it a shame that no one had the foresight at Atari to he's
literally got his old school, like he's doing a Dark Side Phil style. He's got his video cam. He's got his webcam set up on him. He's got his Atari 2600.
Push in cigarette lighter.
And he's got his CRT right there. So how is he going to test this? How is he going to show you these games?
Maybe an ashtray.
He's going to plug in the games one at a time, and he's going to play them on the fucking screen.
Ashtray over here.
I
don't know.
That's cool. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm looking for.
Custom console out of this.
That's what I did.
I don't know, guys.
And he spent his time. So this video is an hour and 23 minutes of him testing out these games one at a time. And when I say test out these games one at a time, and FYI, in case you're curious, because he's testing out these games one at a time, some of these games don't fucking load. He's got doubles in there. He finds doubles in there. It's cool. I like it. I dig it. Anyway, so that's the plug. I became a member of his channel. He's just going full time. I'm supporting him. So instead of being like, here's another jabroni that said some bullshit that is not true. Here's another lawyer on the TTRPG space that's getting it wrong. I'm telling you, check out the Random Encounter show. That's my plug. Yo, Pathfinder for Savage Worlds. Savage Worlds RPG system is one of those many systems because I buy every single TTRPG book and read hardly any of them because I keep on buying books instead of reading them because it's much easier to buy as a consumer with a consumer addiction problem that I've talked about on this channel than it is to actually read them. This is a book that I've had for a while, but would always start to read. But here was the thing with me, and I talk about the sobriety journey. Today is January 21st, 2024. Today is officially 1 month that I'm completely sober because I am off of 1 month off of the cannabinoids. In addition to, I've been sober off alcohol since February 10th, 2022. So on February 10th, 2024, I will be 2 years off of alcohol, but I was still messing around with the weed, which was meaning that I wasn't living a sober life. I am not casting any aspersions or judgments on those individuals for whom the recreational use of marijuana is not problematic to them with their abstaining from alcohol and whatever. But for me, it did not equal a sober life, and therefore it wasn't working, and it was what it was. But it was messing up my mind, and I did not have clarity. And part of that situation was I was mired in a lot of other addictions, including this consumer addiction. So I was buying all these TTRPG books, and a lot of what I was doing was every day I was reading a different TTRPG book and a different TTRPG system. I would get a yen, 2 days, 3 days. I'd be reading, Dungeons and Dragons, 4th edition. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to be into Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition. That's what we're going to be doing now. And then I would do that for 3 or 4 days. And then all of a sudden I'd put it down and be like, no, I'm going to be playing Morkborg. And I would do that for a day and then or two, and then every day I would, I'm going to be doing Numenera. And sometimes I'd stay with a particular system for like 2 or 3 weeks. But more often than not, almost on a daily basis, I was jumping from this book to that book, and oftentimes just putting the book in my backpack with the intention of reading it, maybe reading a paragraph or two, but more often than not, just playing with my phone or doing whatever and not really getting to reading or getting into anything. Or when I was reading, again, not making much real progress at all. But I started changing that when I started changing my lifestyle around. And again, we're a month into this, so don't count our chickens. We're at the beginning of a journey. But what I can tell you is this. What is Pathfinder for Savage Worlds? Savage Worlds is a system unto itself. And I had this book, and I've had this book for a while. And it's one of those books that I would pick up, put down, and it didn't really ever click for me. And it might be for a variety of reasons, but I think one of the main reasons was, like I said, I would pick it up, but I would not stay with it long enough. So every time I would pick it up, it was like I would have to start anew. So if I was on page 17 or page 18, by the time I picked it up again, I would have no real recollection of where I was. So I'd kind of have to start again, and that just led to frustration and really not kind of being able to pick up steam. I had actually heard about Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, and what it is that it's Pathfinder First Edition, which everybody knows is basically Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. It's not the mechanics, it's the lore, and it's the classes put into a classless system, Savage Worlds. I'm not going to try and especially do the rules now that I'm 5 minutes over my allotted time, and I got to get in and out here. But where I can tell you this is for this, what I could do is this, is that I'm one of these, when I should be dipping my toe into something, I go all in. So I like things that are things. I like things that are juxtapositions. Like there's an album by a producer that came out in, like the 1993 that was a tribute to both Charles Mingus and a composer called Harry Parch. And what it was Charles Mingus compositions reinterpreted by different vocalists but played on instruments by this avant-garde composer who only worked in just intonation and made his own instruments, called Harry Partch. So these are two iconoclasts who were combined together by a third iconoclast whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's that. The album is complicated in of itself because it has a story. I like things that are things, right? Like there's an album by Current 93 that is not them doing their traditional music. It's them paying tribute to a composer who worked only by having crystals. It was about the healing power of crystals. So it's like crystals like banging into each other. So it's like, bing! Like it doesn't sound like a Current 93 record, but that is the Current 93 record that is my holy grail to find and get, because it's bing! It's just like amethyst meets, chrysanthemum, julepite or whatever it is. Bing! That's what it is. It's like, I don't know, but that's like, it's a thing. It's a thing that's a thing. So when they did this thing called, the Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, it's a thing that meets a thing. It's not just an RPG thing. It's a thing that, it's this complex thing. I wanted it. So when it was Christmas 2023, not Christmas 2024, Christmas 2023, I had put on my wish list for my family 3 books. I probably should have gotten the box set because it would have probably made more sense economically, but I got the Core Rules, the Companion, and the Bestiary, which I cannot locate to save my life. But I didn't read them until the beginning of December of 2023. So I got them in for Christmas. I guess I got them for Christmas. I got them for Christmas December of 2022. So I got them for Christmas 2022. But didn't start reading them until right before Christmas 2023. So it took me a year to get around to reading them. But when I picked up and started reading Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, it just clicked. And since early December, this Pathfinder for Savage Worlds Core Rules, I've really stuck with and made a point to. There were 2 books that I was going back and forth with. It was this and the Player's Guide for Old Sword's Reign. But then I eventually said, look, commit yourself and just stay with one thing. Stay with one system. Stay with Savage Worlds for Pathfinder, and just don't skip around from rule book to rule book. Stay with the system until you can kind of get it. And that's what I've been doing. Okay. So I don't have a lot of time to go into say anything more because I spent so much time talking about the dude, but it's cool. And we got people saying that they're following that guy already. Pitt basically says I'm already following him. He's neat. Jonas said people congratulate me. Thank you. Da 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 da. Just Jay saying whatever works for you. Oh, thank you. So I'll get into more talking about this in the future, but it's so funny because I'm kind of known for Pathfinder. Well, it's Pathfinder 2nd edition that I hate on, but this is Pathfinder for Savage World, so I'll be talking more about that in the future. I don't have more time to talk about that. Talked about the update on Sobriety, update on Life Journey, blah, blah, blah. That's the people I dig. I got that guy. And yada, yada. I'll talk about more people that I dig in the future. And we'll get on with it. And then I'll do a tarot card pull. And then we'll have covered our bases. And we'll do that. Oh, by the way, this will be noteworthy to people that may not be in the live chat now, but may see this video later. New Jersey is the home of many notable people, including the former drummer of Slipknot, Merv Albert, I believe is his name. No. Max Weinberg is the father. But in addition to the 3rd edition of Pathfinder, which I'm destined to love, no. New Jersey Frank Sinatra was born in Hoboken, New Jersey. The largest, Jay Weinberg, thank you. Frank Sinatra, not a member of the tribe, was born in Hoboken, New Jersey. Hoboken, New Jersey, at one point, the largest number of bars per capita in the United States of America. I don't know if they still hold that record, but the hometown of Frank Sinatra. And the card we get is the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups. Cups, the suit of emotion. 7, we've talked about this before, an unstable but powerful number. Whenever I think of the number 7 and the suits, I think of gods and goddesses. So powerful, like men and women. So powerful. But so subject to putting a foot potentially wrong, making a mistake, making an error. Be careful, okay? Emotions, cups of the suit of emotions and feelings. Our emotions and feelings are what can make life worth living, but they can be painful. So be careful with ourselves. Danzig too. Hey, listen, Danzig, all the Misfits. Jerry Only, Doyle. Don't forget Dr. Chud, right? Don't forget Mike Hideous. Don't forget Eve Lestrange from The Empire Hideous, right? Hey, don't forget me. Let's look to the little guidebook. They've got some interesting things to say sometimes with their Egyptian take on things and definition. Where am I going with this? And then I really must be going. Good night, ladies. Where am I? Swords? Wands? Chalices, they call them. They refer to this, the 7 of chalices, as the pillar of Ra. Concreteness, farsightedness, lasting union. Not bad. May we all stick together. And don't forget John Bon Jovi. Hey, listen. Don't forget, who are the other guys? Don't forget Trickster. Hey, give it to me good. I love you. I love you. I love you. If nobody told you they loved you today, somebody just did. That somebody is CW Chanter. Listen, look in the description box below. You'll see links to all my amazing channels, except technically the main one, CW Chanter. You're not missing much. Thank you for spending this time with me. Hope you got something out of it. Lord knows I did. And I will talk to you again real soon. Did I forget Trickster? Did I refer to them as something else? Trickster. Did I just call them that? What did I call them? Did I call them the right thing? I don't even know. Listen, I gotta go. I love you. But that video was amazing with the Excite bikes, the 4-wheelers. Shout out Beta.